If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Coming off a playoff season last year with BB Comer, Coach Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director at BB Comer, joins us this morning. Coach, only 5 seniors graduated last year. You got 12 seniors this year. And how's spring practice been?
Pretty good. We've had a really good spring. We were based on the rules. You can use 3 weeks to spread out your practices and get 9 practices in a scrimmage in or 9 practices in a jamboree in. So we were able to do that this year because we're playing in the 3rd week of May instead of the 2nd week of May. So we've been able to spread out practices. We've been able to keep everybody healthy thus far, and things have looked good. I mean, it's when you come off a good season, and come off a 9-2 season, and you go into spring practice and you got a big nucleus of seniors back like we do, it's not hard to have a lot of energy out there. So we didn't practice yesterday. We had our all sports banquet last night. We practiced Monday. We'll practice today and then practice Thursday before the scrimmage on Friday. But if we could bottle up Monday's practice and pour it out on Fridays, we'd be good. We'd be good to go.
So, what? This your 3rd year?
3rd year, going into my 4th year.
Yeah, and with this BB Comer team up and coming, and you have some veterans coming back off of last year's team, what do you try to accomplish in the spring?
If you ask coaches, spring's different for every coach and what they want to accomplish. But big thing for us is being able to see where we are compared to last year. So, what have we done in the off season, whether it be strength and conditioning wise or speed wise? We look at some kids. Some kids hit a growth during that off season, and they may have been playing one position, and you want to see them at a different position. Spring is a great time to give some guys some chances to expand out a little bit, maybe play a different position, and you get a chance to get some film on them against an opponent. That way you can assess it, you can look at it and say, hey, look, we're going to benefit from moving this kid here, or hey, we're going to benefit moving him back to where he was. So we have probably 5 or 6 kids that played last year that are playing in new positions this spring, and a lot of them have done well during the spring, so we're looking forward to see how they do game speed, game mode, in order to get an assessment of where we are.
Now, you got kids back from last year that played multiple positions last year.
Yeah, we got kids back. The big nucleus that we have back is our O-line and D-line, and that's going to be big for us. Across the front, Hagan DeLee, Corey Anderson, Zach Carpenter, Brandon Blankenship, those guys being back on the offensive and defensive line is big for us. We're picking up some new guys. We have a kid that hadn't played. He's a freshman, Alex Cunningham, hasn't played since, I think he said 4th grade, and he's coming along for us. I think once we get him through spring and through a summer, he's a young kid that could help us out. So, numbers-wise, we're sitting at 50 kids, 7th through 11th grade, which will be 8 through 12.
Coach, what does that say to the past few years' success?
Kids like to win. Not all kids like to put in the work it takes to win. So, for us to have started, I think we started spring with 55. And right now we're at 50. So for us to only lose 5 kids, it says a lot about our kids. It says a lot about their resiliency and their toughness, because football is not easy. Football practice isn't easy. And we explain to our kids, practice isn't always going to be fun. Practice, we get it. Practice is what it is. But it's also a means to an end, because on Fridays you have to perform in that game. And winning is fun, and winning on Friday nights is fun. But we've been very fortunate to keep the kids that we have. Our weight program has been great for us in the off season, and our guys recruit the hallways well. So they find guys, and it's a class thing. So like the freshman class has done a good job going out and recruiting other freshmen this off season. The junior class, which will be seniors, we have pretty much every male athlete in that group, that has played sports before. That we're probably missing 3 or 4 kids that could benefit us, and they just won't play. But we have quite a few athletes that have come out and said, "Hey, we're going to give this a shot."
You look at quarterback, and a name that we've heard seem like for 5 or 6 years. And when you mention Carmichael, you talk about some kind of great athlete.
Yeah. Devontae is a special athlete, and he's kind of the tale of 2 stories, because his sophomore year, he rushed for almost 1,000 yards, threw for 1,000 yards. Last year, he rushed for almost 1,000 and maybe threw for 300 yards. So, it's hard to believe that a 6-6 year he puts up that much offense, but in a 9-2 year he doesn't put up as much offense. We had the luxury of having Raphael Johnson last year in the backfield. He averaged 10 yards a carry, 18 touchdowns. I mean, it was ungodly.
He was indeed the beast.
No doubt. I mean, he was electric. So, Raphael's gone now, so we're putting a lot on Devontae's plate. He's going to have to be able to run the ball. He's going to have to be able to be comfortable throwing the ball and leading the team. So, and he can do that. He's really shown during the spring. We have a new coach that's coming in with us. Torrey Pike has joined our staff, coming over from Hanley, and he's going to be my offensive coordinator. And those 2 have gelled, and man, they hadn't looked back since we started spring. So he's really developed over the past 3 weeks and done a good job. His confidence throwing the ball is back. So I look for him to have a big night Friday.
We last year had the luxury of calling pass plays Carmichael to Carmichael a number of times.
Yeah, I think James is one of the best athletes in this area. He's he's a 3-sport guy. He's football, basketball, and track. State qualifier in track. He's as good as he is on offense. I think he's even better defensively, and he's probably one of the better defensive backs in this area, in my opinion. Big, rangy kid, and can fly, and he's getting more and more physical the older he gets. He's looking for contact a lot more now than he is trying to get away from it.
You're looking at a veteran, salty defense as well coming back this fall.
Yeah, our defense is pretty nasty. They get after it. A lot of energy from our defense coordinator. Coach Hale has a ton of energy, and that energy kind of spills onto them. And I tell Coach Hale all the time, one day you're gonna be 42 like me. You're not gonna have all this energy, I promise you. But he does a great job just bringing the energy to those guys. John Murphy and Kamor Harris at the linebacker spot, getting everybody lined up. We have Devontae that plays defense for us, and our D-line, Corey Anderson and Hagan DeLee, both coming back. And both of those guys wreaked havoc last year and did a good job keeping quarterbacks kind of in the pocket and getting pressure on them. So defensively, we're a lot of fun to watch. I get aggravated in practice trying to run a scout team against our defense, but that's what you want.
Let's talk about the spring game, which is Friday. A little bit different twist this year. Talk about Friday night at Legion Stadium.
Yeah, so Friday, it's been in discussion since it's been announced, but on Friday we will play Sylacauga at Legion Stadium, and this is an opportunity for both teams to play local and for the community to come see them play. It's the rivalry, and everybody's talked about all that.
And it's still 5A and 2A.
Right, it's still a 5A and a 2A, and when Coach Carter was hired, the day he was hired, I was actually at track practice, and he was out there, and I went and spoke to him, and I know him from when he was at Beauregard, and talked to him a little bit, and I said, Coach, I know it's your first day, but let's look at doing a spring game. Let's look at lining up and playing. And we discussed it a little bit. He called me back and said, come see me, let's talk about this, and so forth and so on. So we set it up, and I think it's a good situation. we're going to split the gate. Our bands are going to split concessions. I think their band's doing the visiting concession side. We're doing the home concession side. There's no parking fee, so parking will, that would have been way too hard to divide up and figure out. But no parking charges. Just show up, have your tickets ready to go, and come watch the game. That's the beauty of it, is that even within the rivalry, you have family that went to both schools. You have friends that went to both schools. There's a lot of memories that are going to be hashed out and brought up on Friday night in those stands, and standing out there by the concession stand. I remember when. I'd like to know how many times that statement is said Friday night. I remember when. Mm-hmm. I remember when. So, but it's a great opportunity, man. And our kids, the beauty of all of it is on the inside, everything's great. Our coaching staff has a great relationship with their coaching staff. I have, you talk about the family crossover. I have Stephen Strickland on my staff. He's a Sylacauga grad. His dad and his brother coach at Sylacauga. Listening to the banter of them going back and forth, just kind of jawing at each other has been fun over the past couple of weeks. But our coaching staffs get along. Our kids get along. Our kids, man, they see each other every day. They grew up playing different sports together on youth league teams and stuff like that. So for us to be able to line up and compete in front of our community, then that seems like a no-lose situation to me.
Yeah, and just saying the two schools, Sylacauga and BB Comer, or BB Comer and Sylacauga, automatically puts butts in the seats.
Yeah, no doubt. There's going to be a lot of people there. There's going to be, and a lot of spring games were last Friday. So I know Winterboro played last Friday, Lincoln played last Friday. I think Chillsburg's playing this Friday, but there's a lot of people that have no affiliate to anything. Right. They just want to see some high school football. They're just starving for some high school football. So I know we'll have a good crowd. I know my bookkeeper is the one that's over the ticketing of it. She has to set up the GoFan and things like that. And as of yesterday, I think there was like 500 tickets sold, right? A little over 500 tickets total. I usually get the update from her every morning.
That's the easiest way to. I've had people to talk. Say, I've tried and I can't do that. How's the easiest way to get through that process?
Man, the GoFan ordeal is, the AHSA started this with the COVID issue, and it was coming anyway, whether we had the pandemic or not. This was coming. This is the digital ticketing is something that they wanted to do, and they've been talking about it for years and trying to work the kinks out of it. But it's gofan.com. GoFan is one word, gofan.com. And you can either go online to that website and sign up and purchase your tickets. And once you're signed up, you just search BB Comer or you search Sylacauga, and it should pull up spring football, and you can buy a ticket. There's two different links. It doesn't matter where you buy the link from or where you buy the ticket from, mm-hmm. which link, it doesn't matter. But if you do it through the website, it will email you your tickets, and then you've got to be able to pull your ticket up from your email on your cell phone. So when you come to the gate on Friday night, when you show your cell phone, it'll have however many tickets you bought, and you click on the tickets, and then somebody at the gate will tell you to push validate, and you go in. The purpose of all this was hands-free ticketing. That was you're not exchanging money, we're not exchanging tickets, we're not, during the heart of the pandemic, that was, hey, let's make sure we do it this way, And it makes sense. I understand some frustrations with it. There is an app that you can download. It works on the iPhones. Apparently, there's some issues with the Android phones, and I'm not a technology guy.
Which I have.
You have an Android? I'm not a technology guy.
There you go, right there.
Yeah, there it is. So that's what the screen would look like, and you pull this up, and then you can click spring football, get tickets, and you can put in however many tickets you want. And again, there's both links, and it doesn't matter which home or away. It doesn't matter which link you choose. once you come in, you can sit wherever you want to, as long as it's not on the playing field. So,
and you know, the Go Ticket deal is different, but so is the way this game is going to be played.
Yeah. So you know, you have to keep in mind that even though we've had 3 weeks to get 9 practices in, I think Coach Carter has chosen to do 2 weeks to get 9 practices in. So at the end of the day, we got to keep in mind the kids too. You know, we have. Just like him, he has a lot of kids that are coming off of spring sport, off of baseball or off of soccer or track, and we have kids that are coming off baseball or track. So we have to keep the kids in mind. So we're going to play. We're going to start out by playing a JV quarter, a young guys quarter, a 15-minute quarter. We'll take a little break in between there. We're going to introduce.
Now that starts at 6.
That starts at 6. Yeah, at 6 o'clock. And then during that time, we'll take about a 10, 12-minute break. We're going to introduce the cheer squads from both teams, and then we will play 2 15-minute quarters with our varsity guys.
And that's going to be different too, as the way it's played.
Yeah. So we're going to line up and kick. Like if they win the toss and they choose to receive, you're going to see a kicker walk out there, and you're going to see a returner walk out there, and the kicker is going to kick the ball, and the returner is going to catch it. And then we'll spot the ball on the 20. If we get in a 4th down situation and I got to send Chris Wilson out to punt, then I'm going to send out a snapper and a punter. He's going to send out a returner. We're going to snap it and kick it. Wherever he feels the ball is where it'll be. So.
Very quickly before we go this morning, appreciate Coach Adam Fossett for being with us this morning. What do you expect to accomplish in a spring game?
And anytime you get to see a different opponent, guys get tired of hitting each other. And they, eventually you figure out, hey, I know what I can do against this guy. I know what this guy's moves are, and so forth and so on. We have a offensive tackle, Hagan DeLee, has to go against Jason Swain in practice. That's the scout team guy that plays that in, and we know exactly. He knows what Jason's going to do when he's going to do it. So we get to see an opponent other than us. We get to see some quality reps of some guys in some new positions, and we get some true game-type film that we can look at and review and see what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, and what we need to improve on.
And certainly with the heat Friday night, you got to watch out for those kids and make sure they're hydrated. And I don't really know how post-COVID-19 is working on a Friday night spring game. Anything on that?
We're going to stick to what we were doing. We just used the little small paper cups, and during timeouts, we filled them up. We had trays and handed them out. We had a trash can or trash bag ready to throw the cups in, and then moved on about our day. So, during those times, they don't drink much water anyway. They tip it up, spit half of it out, maybe swallow a little bit. But the cups work the best for us. Yeah. I know some people use the small bottles, and cups just seem to be a good situation for us. Our key is our guys should be starting to hydrate today for Friday.
I've saved the best for the last. Right. The Q&A with Coach Adam Fossett. I've had several people ask me, so why does Coach Fossett stand alone during the game? Is he mad?
No, I'm not mad. That is on purpose. I'm an offensive line guy. Offensive line my whole life. Was a lineman, coached offensive line before I became a head coach, and that's where I can see the best. I can see what's going on. I stand behind the offense. If you notice, if the other team has the ball, I stand behind the offense, and we have headsets. So I'm constantly talking to our coaches. If I see guards leaning and they're pulling or they're showing something, or I notice something, I stand that's why I stand back there, just to find, kind of see some tips from the other team, and also to make sure to see what we're doing. So
well, as long as you're not mad.
No, well, sometimes I am mad, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, Coach Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director at VB Comer. Spring matchup against Sylacauga. The JV's at 6, and the varsity somewhere 6:30, 6:45, somewhere like that. And we're going to introduce the cheerleaders for both teams and stuff too. So, Coach, good spring to you, and August will be here before you know it.
Yes, sir.
All right, more Daybreak just ahead.